Okay, let's dive right into this explainer and deconstruct exactly how India engineered their absolutely historic, unbeaten run to the 2025 ICC Champions Trophy. I mean, we've all seen the confetti fall and the trophy getting lifted, right? But the actual mechanics of how this team evolved to become such an unstoppable force, that is absolutely fascinating.
0. Yep, you heard that right. That is the exact number of matches India lost in the 2025 Champions Trophy. It was just a total masterclass of dominance, capping off with that incredibly high-pressure, nail-biting final victory over New Zealand. In a format as wild and unpredictable as one-day internationals, going completely undefeated through a major global tournament takes way more than just raw talent. It requires a literally bulletproof system.
And as BCCI President Roger Binney hit the nail on the head here, the secret ingredients were consistency and character. Now, this triumph for sure firmly established Rohit Sharma's legacy, giving him twin ICC titles in consecutive years after the 2024 T20 World Cup. But to really understand why this team won, we need to pop the hood and examine the massive strategic overhaul that actually got them there.
So here's our roadmap for today's explainer. 1. The Champions Trophy Triumph. 2. The middle overs spin problem. 3. Gambhir's tactical masterstrokes. 4. Middle order mastery. And 5. Passing the leadership baton.
All right, kicking things off with Section 1, the middle overspin problem, or as I like to call it, India's kryptonite exposed.
To truly appreciate their ultimate victory, we first have to understand the villain of this story, which was India's shocking vulnerability against middle over spin on sluggish pitches. Before they became champions, this was the glaring crack in their armor, and these numbers tell a pretty grim story. Look at the drop-off. Back against Sri Lanka in 2017, they were cruising with an average of almost 51. Fast forward to the 2024 series loss, and that average completely nosedived to 16.25. They lost a staggering 28 wickets to spin in just 3 innings. They were either trying way too hard to dominate or just completely succumbing to the turning ball.
So, why did this happen? Well, constant exposure to flat, fast overseas pitches basically left the Indian batters totally ill-equipped for slow turners. Assistant coach Ryan Tendoshkat actually noted that their obsession with dominating in Senna countries, South Africa, England, New Zealand, Australia, cost them dearly on sluggish tracks. It's the exact same vulnerability we saw in that heartbreaking 2023 World Cup final against Pat Cummins' clever cutters on a super slow Ahmedabad surface.
Which brings us to Section 2, Gambhir's tactical masterstrokes and building a flexible machine.
Head coach Gautam Gambhir stepped right into this pressure cooker and completely rewired the team's philosophy to solve this exact problem. The old approach relied on a super rigid top 7 batting order and exactly 5 pure specialist bowlers. If the pitch demanded something else, well, they were kinda stuck. But Gambhir's gambit, he introduced fluid left-right batting combinations deep into the order and started deploying multifaceted part-time bowlers. It was a bold, progressive strategy that unlocked immense flexibility.
Gambhir brilliantly manufactured depth and balance, and he did it without compromising any firepower. He actively promoted lefties like Washington Sundar and Axar Patel up the order specifically to disrupt the rhythm of the opposition's spinners. He brought in part-time bowlers, even tossing the ball to batters like Suryakumar Yadav and Rinku Singh at the death. And crucially, he heavily capitalized on Ravindra Jadeja's incredible evolution into a world-class finisher. I mean, the guy has been boasting an average of over 62 since the 2019 World Cup.
Moving right along to Section 3, Middle Order Mastery, starring the Rescuers, Rahul, and Iyer. Now, tactics are great on a whiteboard, right? But you absolutely need the human element to execute them under intense pressure. 112. That's the magical number of unbeaten runs KL Rahul smashed off just 92 balls to rescue India from a super precarious 118 for 4 against New Zealand. Taking a step back from T20s allowed Rahul to seriously refine his game, and it proved his absolute mastery of that volatile number 5 spot. He essentially became both the ultimate stabilizer and the aggressor right when the team needed it most.
And this solid backbone extended directly to Shreyas Iyer. The management completely ignored the absolute circus of outside noise regarding his perceived short ball weaknesses and his injury history. They backed him 100%, and man, did he repay that trust. He became the definitive anchor at number 4 by delivering an unbeaten 53 against Pakistan, 82 against Bangladesh, and a highly crucial 77 against South Africa. He silenced his critics perfectly.
Next up is Section 4, passing the leadership baton and engineering the 2027 future.
A true champion team never just rests on its laurels.
Even while the celebrations are still going, this machine is already carefully mutating. We are currently witnessing a highly calculated leadership transition. Rohit Sharma's era of aggressive captaincy, which, by the way, leaves behind a staggering 75% win rate, peaked with this historic victory. And now, the baton smoothly passes over to the young tactician Shubman Gill, setting their sights firmly on the 2027 World Cup.
But don't worry, the veterans aren't just riding off into the sunset. Chief Selector Ajit Agarkar has engineered a super pragmatic approach. Legends like Rohit and Virat Kohli are stepping back from T20s and tests, but they are diving deep into domestic cricket tournaments. This is genius because it ensures they keep their competitive edge and match readiness, allowing them to serve as vital on-field mentors for Gill's brand new leadership regime.
Finally, Section 5, the Undisputed Kings, looking ahead.
Let's just pull back for a second and look at the absolute peak this team has climbed to. These numbers completely cement India's total dominance in the format. Sitting comfortably at the very top of the ICC rankings with an astonishing 120 rating, they are a full 10 points ahead of their closest rivals, Australia, and 13 points ahead of Pakistan. They aren't just winning games, they have mathematically separated themselves from the rest of the world.
So what does this all mean for us? The big takeaway from this explainer is that India has built a masterful ODI machine by actively identifying their kryptonite and boldly rewiring their entire strategy. But as they start to rest veteran fast bowlers like Jasprit Bumrah and begin testing out a much rawer pace attack under a brand new captain, the ultimate question remains, is this newly evolved blueprint truly future-proof enough to conquer the 2027 World Cup? Guess we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for hanging out with me for this explainer, and definitely keep your eyes on how this next chapter unfolds. Okay, let's